Veda is not in the upstairs or downstairs hallway or ladies' room, and I can't see her immediately outside of the courthouse from the upstairs or downstairs window. Who I think has been hanging out with her advises that she can't reach her on the phone.
All right. Well, what is your request then?
Well, you can call me and see if Ms. comes back. It appears to me at this point that she's disregarded the court's order to remain in the courthouse until she's called to testify.
All right. Well, before I issue a warrant for her arrest or do anything that drastic, I believe Ms. Veda was the one that did not feel well, correct?
She has cancer, remember?
She doesn't feel well in the sense that she is a cancer patient. I don't think there was a concern about her feeling any particular type of way today.
Okay. Well, I'm going to check with court security when they return. Again, we've been plowing through the lunch hour on this case. So let's go ahead and call your next witness then, and that should get court security back here.
Thank you.
All right. All right, ma'am. You come on up. And raise your right hand. Under the penalty of perjury, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right. Let's start off with your name. H or no H?
With an H.
With an H. Spelling?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. King, how do you know Ms. Oriani?
I actually met her through true crime. I was into true crime, and I watched her stuff on YouTube.
So that's how you knew her as, so to speak, a fan?
I don't consider myself a fan.
What do you consider yourself in relation to Ms. Oriani?
I'm as true crime.
No, what, no.
Oh, I'm a friend of hers.
Okay.
Yes.
A personal friend.
Yeah, I would say so.
But you met her through the True Crime channel?
Yes.
And that channel, is that called Truth and Transparency?
Yes.
And do you live here in Colorado, Ms. King? Where do you live?
I live in Iowa.
Okay. Why are you in town right now?
I came in town to see her and Jenny.
Okay. When did you arrive?
On Friday.
And how do you know, when you say, how do you know?
Through the same thing, through true crime, through Truth and Transparency.
Is this a,
I do not know. Yes. I believe she does, but I don't know if this is her permanent residence. Yes, she has a home, yeah.
okay. Where are you staying while you're here?
The Broomfield Inn. That's how I believe it.
What town does Miss Veda live in? You don't know. Do you know where Miss Veda is staying? Do you know where Miss Oriani is staying currently while she's in town?
With Jamie.
So Miss Oriani is staying with Miss Veda while she's in town here? Okay. Ms. King, I want to talk about yesterday late afternoon.
Sure.
What were you doing around 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon?
Jamie and I were, I don't even know, I was helping her serve papers. She owns a business.
Jamie owns a business? What's the business?
I do not know.
Okay. So I guess what I want to ask you is what's the connection between her business and the fact that she was serving papers?
I do not know.
Okay.
I was hired by her.
You were hired by Miss Veda to do what?
She served papers.
How much did she pay you?
We haven't settled that yet.
So she hired you to serve papers and did not tell you how much she was going to pay you? Did she give you papers to serve?
Did she give them to me?
Did she give you papers to serve?
Yes.
What were the papers?
I actually have it on my phone.
Would it refresh your memory to take a look at your phone?
Yeah, it's out in if you'd like me to go get it, or you can. It's out in the.
I'll go get it. What does it look like?
It's black. It's laying.
approach, Your Honor? Was that your phone?
Yes, ma'am.
Did Ms. Veda give you physical copies of the papers, or did she just give you a picture on your phone?
No, I'm the one that took, I'm the one that served them. She didn't give me copies. I'm the one that took pictures.
Are you a professional process server?
No, ma'am.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a manager at a Walmart.
Got it. Where were you when Ms. Veda gave you the physical copies of the papers?
I was with her.
Where were you when Ms. Veda gave you the physical copies?
What do you mean, where was I as in?
Geographically.
I have no idea.
You don't
Well,
know?
it would be at the residence of, no, I don't know what town I was in or what city I was in. I'm not from here.
Were you at Ms. Veda's house?
No,
Whose house were you at?
we weren't. We were in the vehicle.
You were in a car? Where was the car? Was it near Ms. Veda's house?
No.
Was it Ms. Veda's car?
Yes.
Okay, so you were in Ms. Veda's car, and Ms. Veda hired you as a process server, is that right?
That's common.
With no agreement about money?
No, ma'am.
And do you say that's common because that's happened to you a lot before?
No, ma'am.
Have you been able to pull up the papers on your phone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Who are the names of the people that are on the papers to be served?
Sean Walsh.
Okay. Any others?
No, ma'am.
So you just had one document to serve?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So tell me about serving it. How did you get to where you needed to go to serve it?
I was with Miss Veda.
Did she drive you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And where did she drive to?
To the location of the Walshes.
And when you say to the location of the Walshes, you pointed at Miss Walsh with your glasses. Why is that?
Because I assume that's Miss Walsh.
To her home?
I assume that's where she lives. I did not see her.
Okay. So you and Miss Veda went to a place you assumed to be Miss Walsh's home with
Correct.
one document for Sean Walsh to serve. Is that correct? Okay. What happened when you got to the home?
She pulled up in front. She couldn't find the document. She was looking for it. She found it. I went to the door. I knocked. Rang the doorbell. Nobody responded. Knocked probably 3 or 4 times. Nobody responded. I then put it in on the door, took a picture of it, and we left.
And that was just the one document for Sean Walsh?
Yes.
There was not another document for
No,
another
ma'am.
person?
That's it.
Okay. What did you do after you placed the document on the door?
I got back in the vehicle and we left.
Where'd you go?
Back to where Miss Veda lives.
You mean her house?
Yes.
Your Honor,
Excuse me.
objection,
What's your objection under the rules of evidence?
relevancy on this.
Well, I'm going to overrule that objection. The allegation here is that after I quashed that warrant back on the 28th of February, that you caused a third party to violate the order of protection by serving a quashed warrant onto the plaintiff. Now, that goes directly to the second prong. And so I'm going to allow this testimony to continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. King, how did you, what's your understanding of what valid service of papers is, court documents?
Oh, that's not relevant.
Well, I think it is, Your Honor, and I can tell you why.
Hurry up. Why?
Because of the way that the documents were left, obviously wasn't proper service of process, and since she was hired as a professional process server by Ms. Veda, I'm wondering if Ms. Veda
Anyone can
instructed
serve
her.
documents.
I
I think that's the question then. I think that is the question, and you may ask that question.
Is what?
Did Ms. Veda instruct her on how to, but I don't care what her actual personal knowledge is.
Did Ms. Veda tell you how to, quote unquote, serve the document that you served?
No, in the beginning, no. I went and rang the doorbell. I assumed that I was going to ask, is this the residence of Sean Walsh? If he was available, and that I was serving papers.
Okay.
Upon not being able to, she said, go ahead and put them, that's why I took pictures, that I posted them on their door.
When you put them on the door, did you put more than one thing on the door? Just
Nope, this is what was on the door. I have all the pictures.
you're just calling it them singular though?
The document.
The one document?
Yes, it's
Okay.
just one document.
Got it.
It's one document.
Can I see the document on your phone,
Yeah.
please?
There's 2 different pictures of it.
Thank you. That's all I have for Ms. King, Your Honor. I'd like to call Ms. Veda next if I can.
Well,
Oh, I apologize.
we still have some cross-examination.
You're right.
Ms. Oriani, do you have any questions of this witness?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Very briefly, go ahead.
Ms. King, did I hire you to go serve papers to the Walsh residence? No further questions.
Well, I didn't hear the answer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry.
All right, you are done. Thank you.
And Your Honor, we would like to call Ms. Veda next.
All right.
Actually, Your Honor, I have a question. Am I able to submit her picture into evidence that she showed?
You would have if you had done it before she left the stand, assuming that you had it in paper form. I'm not going to seize her cell phone. All right, ma'am, come on up to the witness stand, please.
Your Honor, I spoke with my attorney, and he said that I'm not under subpoena.
No, at this point you're under court order, so come on up here. A subpoena is a court order, but I ordered you directly in court personally.
I was just trying
this-
to get the picture that we took of the house and
Yeah.
the subpoena.
This isn't your case, you're only a witness here, okay?
That's all I was
All right.
saying about what I have to do with this case.
Yeah, well, we'll find out, Ms. Veda. All right, please raise your right hand. Under the penalty of perjury, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right, you may go ahead.
Ms. Veda, where do you live? The town, not your address.
Littleton, Colorado.
Okay. Ms. Veda, how do you know Ms. Oriani?
I know her from YouTube, and she hired my company to start some subpoenas.
And what's your company?
Casey Professional Services.
So you're a professional process server?
I do process. I don't do process serving. However, I do have people that contract to me that I contract to process serve. I did not serve this subpoena.
Can you please
Just answer the questions that are asked of you. Thank you.
How do you know Ms. King?
Who's Miss King?
She's that lady you were sitting on the hallway this morning.
She served the subpoena.
That's how you know her? How do you know Ms. King? That's the first time you met her is when she served a subpoena?
No.
Okay. What's your relationship with Ms. King?
Friend.
Before you, did you drive Ms. King to serve that subpoena yesterday?
Yes, I did.
And did you hire Ms. King to serve a subpoena?
Yes, I did.
Is Ms. King somebody that you know to be a person who's a process server or anything like that?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sorry.
What's the objection?
Ms. King doesn't have to be a process server for her to be.
doesn't mean the question is inadmissible. You may proceed. The objection's overruled.
Did you hire Ms. King to serve that subpoena?
Yes.
What did you pay her?
$50.
Paid her $50. Did you give her cash or check? Or something else?
Actually, I haven't paid her yet because it's hasn't been invoiced.
Okay. Is Miss Oriani staying with you while she's here in Colorado?
She stays in an apartment that I rent out to nurses.
Is that in your house or somewhere else?
Yes, it's on my property.
Is it in the same building as your house, or is it like a guest house or something?
It's like a it's in my property, but it has to be separate.
It's in your property, but it has a separate?
It has a separate entrance. It's in the same house, but it has its own separate entrance, and I don't enter it from the house, the floors that exist on the upper part of the house.
So Miss Oriani is staying in your house while she's here in Colorado, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Where did you get the papers that you gave to Ms. King to serve?
I received them from Miss Oriani.
Okay. And did she ask you to serve them?
Yes.
Okay. And Ms. Veda, you were at the last hearing in this case, you were here in court the whole time, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So, what did Ms. Oriani give you exactly to serve?
The 2 subpoenas.
2 subpoenas?
Yes, ma'am.
Who were the subpoenas for?
Mr. Sean Walsh,
Mm-hmm.
and then what I was told was a minor. I don't remember the child's name because I was aware that the subpoena was quashed.
You were aware that the subpoena was quashed?
Correct. I have pictures of the subpoena.
That's not what I'm asking. I just asked if you were aware the subpoena was quashed.
Yes, ma'am.
How did you learn that the subpoena was quashed?
Miss Oriani let me know.
Okay. So Ms. Oriani let you know that the subpoena for the child had been quashed, but gave you 2 subpoenas, one for Sean Walsh and one for a minor child.
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Veda, as a professional, or not as a professional process server, but as a person who hires other people to serve papers, do you know how to serve minors? It's just a yes or no question.
Yes.
How do you serve minors?
You have to serve the child and both parents.
You have to serve the child and both parents?
Well, we didn't have to serve her, and we had an issue with that, and so we hadn't, and that's why we held the subpoena for as long as we did.
So did you drive Ms. King to Ms. Walsh's home to serve both of these subpoenas?
No,
You didn't.
just one.
Just one. What happened to the other one?
What other one?
You just testified that Ms. Oriani gave you 2 subpoenas to serve, one for a child and one for Sean Walsh. Is that
One
correct?
was quashed.
Okay. But you said that Ms. Oriani gave it to you to serve anyway.
No.
You didn't.
You asked me in the beginning, she gave me 2 subpoenas to serve.
Okay.
Then we had one issue with that we discussed, and then
What
the
was the
motion.
one issue with that you discussed?
When the people that went to serve process, we didn't have an address for Mr. Sean Walsh.
Okay.
The only address we could find was just one. So what I was told was that it appeared that they were not separated, that they were in a relationship, and that there was Mr. and Mrs. Walsh,
Okay.
and that there was a concern that maybe there was like a domestic violence if you start serving these people and Mr. Walsh doesn't know what's going on.
Who
And
told you that?
it was because we were told that they were divorced.
Who's
and that
we?
Lana told myself, and I told the people that I contracted to check to do the service. And they all said that they were just too concerned to do it, and they refused. But then we didn't have to serve it at all because it was quashed.
How did you find out it was quashed?
Lana told me. She sent it to me in an email.
Okay. So you drove Ms. King to go serve the one subpoena?
Correct.
Okay. And how was that? Obviously it wasn't served, but when I say service, how was that accomplished? What did you do?
Well, We were given a picture of Mr. Sean Walsh, and so
By whom?
Miss Oriani, and we verified it, through just a Google search. And so Mr. Sean Walsh, he opened the garage door and looked right at me and at Miss King, and then went into his home, and so she served him by placing the notice on the door prominently, and we have pictures of it.
And it's your sworn testimony today that it was just the one subpoena?
Correct.
What's your understanding of the window of time that subpoenas need to be served before a hearing in civil cases?
We were aware.
Of what?
That it was not that the 48 hours was prior to the 48 hours. However, Miss Oriani wanted the fact that we did attempt,
Got it. So you knew it
and that we
wasn't,
did see Mr. Walsh there.
so you knew it wasn't valid service, but Ms. Oriani asked you to do it anyway?
I mean, just for documentation, yes.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Hold on, ma'am. Please have a seat. Ms. Oriani, do you have any questions?
Yes, I do. Ms. Veda, when did I talk to you about serving these subpoenas the first time?
Like the 18th.
Did you come down to the courthouse here and do the paperwork to get the subpoenas?
I just had her sign them, yes.
So the clerk of courts issued them?
Correct.
Did I make you aware that through email as well as on a live feed that opposing counsel quashed the minor child motion or there was an order from the courts? There can be no service. It was quashed.
Correct.
So when I asked you to serve the subpoenas, that was in, February 18th?
Correct.
Did I ask you to serve a minor child a subpoena yesterday?
No.
Did I ask you to go against any orders from the courts yesterday?
No. Not that I'm aware of.
Did I hand you any subpoenas yesterday?
No.
You said no?
No.
No more further questions.
I have two follow-up questions, if that's
Go ahead.
okay. At any time before yesterday, well, actually, no. I want to start by asking this. It was you that came and applied for those two subpoenas at the courthouse?
They were just signed by the clerk. I was just the courier.
So was it you that came on February 18th and applied for those subpoenas?
Yes.
Okay. Did you know at the time you applied for those that one of the people was a minor child?
No.
You didn't know who it was?
No. I was just contracted to be a courier to to get them signed by the court. I didn't draft them.
Okay. The one for the person other than Sean Walsh, did Miss Oriani ask you to serve that at any time other than yesterday, prior to yesterday?
On the 18th.
On the 18th, she asked you to serve those subpoenas?
She said if they're accepted, can you serve these? Have these served?
Great.
No, she didn't ask me to serve them personally.
But she asked you to cause them to be served?
On the 18th.
Both of them.
Whatever the per people were that we dropped the subpoenas off to have them signed by the clerk, yes.
Okay. I don't have any additional questions. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. You are excused.
Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Zimmerman, Ms. Dolan, do you have any further witnesses? Were you going to call Ms. Oriani to the stand?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Oriani,
Can I have a short recess to use the restroom and grab a drink of water, please?
Well, hold on. You had earlier indicated that you were not going to testify.
Yeah, that has since changed, I believe, due to the testimony of Ms. Walsh here today.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead then and give you an advisement. There have been allegations that, in fact, you have violated the temporary order of protection. We talked about those allegations the first time you were here. So you do have a Fifth Amendment right to remain silent regarding any potential criminal case that may be brought against you. So you'll be under oath. We've got this transcript. The district attorney can use that transcript against you. But at the same time, this is a civil proceeding, and not testifying, of course, there can also be a negative inference about you not testifying. So that is a decision for you alone to make, but you need to understand that you do have the right to remain silent for fear of any possible criminal charges against you. Okay, so I'm going to give you a chance.
I do want to add something just to be candid in my duty of candor to the tribunal, and I want to be fair to Ms. Oriani. Following what happened last night, there is an open criminal case that's being investigated by the Broomfield Police Department, and case number 2022-12328 by Officer O'Hare.
Okay, all right, thank you for that. That's just an investigation. I don't know what's going to happen regarding that case, and that's neither here nor there. You need to be aware that there's an open case in making that decision. So we're going to go ahead. We are now going to take, I've got another case to be heard at 1:30. I'm going to go ahead and break until 2:30 on this case. The parties are ordered back at 2:30 for a conclusion to this trial. Okay. And until that time, we are in recess. The parties are instructed not to discuss the case with Ms. Oriani. In other words, Ms. Veda and Ms. King, because everyone's still under a sequestration until this case is over. So with that, Ms. Oriani, let me have you leave first so that there's just no incidental contact, okay? All right, folks, you can go grab a bite. Wherever you can find a restaurant, 120th has some locations. Or
Thank you.
Thank you.
you brought something in your car?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We're just going to